Yo, what is going on? I hope you are well, wherever you are, whatever the damn time. And if you watched a couple of videos ago, you'll see that I needed new headphone pads and we got them. My God, it makes such a difference. I feel like I've just been destroying my ears. Anyway, I hope you're good. Welcome to another YouTube video. Today, you're going to be joining me for a full day of eating / day in the life. I recently had the Team Power meetup, so I met a few of my clients, and during that time, I didn't film any content. In fact, I filmed about a minute of B-roll and a video of me talking down a street. And then that was it. I didn't film any of the training on this camera. I didn't film literally anything. Talib was the only person that filmed something. Adam had something filmed with a videographer, Aaron, but yeah, I just didn't film anything. I'm so bad when I go to these events or do something. I just don't think, oh, I gotta document this or oh, I gotta get it on my camera, which isn't very YouTubey of me. So yeah, the meetup was really good. It was really good. It was really good to meet some of my clients. I only met 3 of them: Ben, Reese, and Hugo. The turnout wasn't amazing, but it's kind of to be expected in December with things going on for Christmas, a lot of people being unwell, and the travel time as well. It was also a Friday, so a lot of people were still working. We've already got kind of an idea as to when we want to do the next one, which will be in April, but it was a lot of fun. So much fun. An update on myself. I recently actually made a change to my food, which is exactly why I want to go over a full day of eating today, because you can actually see something different in my diet today. I've increased my food because body weight has stayed the same for about the past 3.5, 4 weeks. And my condition is pretty mad. Considering I'm 12 weeks post-show, this is detail on my physique that I've never seen. I took some shots at the meetup and yeah, I'm very detailed. Considering my body weight is about 105 kilos, 105 and a half, around there. And I'm just getting sharper and sharper and sharper. And I was actually saying to Talib and Adam that I am really tempted to compete next year. Genuinely really tempted, because I could just start from here. I feel good. Training's going really well. The prospect of me stepping on stage again at 100 kilos seems very realistic now, which is kind of mad. But I don't see why not, considering how I look at this body weight. I'll put some photos up, but you'll see what I mean. Like I'm really happy with how I'm looking. So food has gone up. I actually increased my food by, let's have a look actually. So we are up by about 60 grams of carbs. And as a result of that as well, because of the carbohydrate increase, there has been some trace protein that's gone up as well. So protein's gone up by about 19 grams. Total macros at the minute are 254 grams of protein, 64 grams of fat, and 511 grams of carbohydrate. So we're going to sit at this for a couple of weeks. I do expect body weight to see a bit of a initial spike just because of the increase in volume and also the changes that I've actually made. The changes I've made has basically just been an increase in rice, and obviously increasing rice is going to cause a little bit more food volume than just increasing like honey, for example, or putting in like a carb powder. So I think initially I'll see a pretty decent bump. This morning I woke up at 106 kilos. So initial increase, I was 105.6 yesterday. So we'll obviously just see how things go across this week. But I want to kind of get my body weight average to settle into the 106s, especially through January. And that is the goal. 107s likely throughout February, 108s in March. From that point on, really, I need to decide if I am going into a prep or not. I doubt it, but because I want to focus so much on coaching clients this year and on stage and be completely present for that and not have to worry about my own contest prep. But I need to make a decision if I'm going to do that by the time I get to March or April time, especially if I want to compete at the back end of the year. I am in good shape, and I imagine I will be in good shape at 107, 108. Like I won't be sloppy. It'll be lighter than where I started my prep this year. But yeah, exciting times ahead. Today, I am also meeting my client, Andrew. So we're going to be training at EP Jungle, an upper body session. We're going to go through his session today. And then we're going to grab some food. So I'm going to replace one of my meals with a meal out with himself. He's in Manchester. I don't think he's been here before. So we'll go explore Manchester a little bit. And yeah, and I've just got check-ins. This morning I've just been doing check-ins with clients who sent over some updates yesterday. And that's been basically the morning. Next thing I need to do is have meal number 1, because I do want to have 2 meals before we go through this upper body session. So join me for meal numero uno. All right, so meal number one is going to be 3 whole eggs with 4 bacon medallions. We've got 1 bagel, and that bagel can be basically swapped with any other kind of bread that I basically want, just making sure that the carbohydrates are similar. They haven't got to be exact, but similar. So tomorrow I'm going to be using tortilla wraps. Basically, I've got these mini tortilla wraps I want to use to basically make like breakfast wraps. I've also got 20 grams of honey with that as well. And this meal is really nice with hot honey. Egg, bacon, bread, hot honey, tremendous. 20 grams of carbohydrate from fruit. So I make sure that I have fruit and or vegetables with every single meal that I'm consuming. That is really, really important. Just because you're trying to get bigger doesn't mean that you should neglect vegetables and fruit. It's really important that you consider micronutrition. Keep inflammation low, keep free radicals low, have a healthy body. A healthy body is more responsive. So I've got a kiwi and I've also got 15 grams of raisins. And that fruit in this bowl can be any fruit, just so long as it's around 20 grams of carbohydrate. And that's going to be meal number one. So this is a fantastic meal, easy to get down. And then meal number two is going to be a cream of rice meal, because that's going to be my pre-workout meal. That'll feel like air in my stomach. I am still hungry, 12 weeks post-show, but considering my condition, it kind of does make sense. This podcast, I've been watching about 50 minutes of it so far, which is Fuad and Stan Efferding talking about health in bodybuilding and whatnot and markers to look out for, which is really interesting. I think a lot of natties think that they're immune to a lot of these health ailments, but the process is still the same in bodybuilding. I don't think people quite realize that your body doesn't want to get heavier, really. Bodybuilding and consuming a lot of food and being hypercaloric for a long period of time isn't a good thing, regardless of if you're mostly muscle or not. So there's things that you want to do to ensure that you can last as long as possible in your off season, because if inflammation gets too high and your health just goes to shit, your blood pressure gets too high, it's not going to be productive anymore and you're going to have to call your off season. So things such as sustaining your cardio, making sure if you've got sleep apnea, you've got a CPAP machine, which is something that I should get really. My sleep apnea is like very dependent on position. So if I like lie on my back and if I get past a certain body weight, through prep is absolutely fine, it's not a problem. And at the minute as well, it's fine. I just have to make sure that I sleep on my side. But if you do have bad sleep apnea, make sure that you do get a CPAP. I think I will probably just buy one to see how it impacts my sleep. Blood pressure needs to be managed through cardio, through hydration, through making sure that you're doing your steps, making sure you're taking in foods that are high in potassium, like your cruciferous vegetables, that sort of thing, just because your natural doesn't make you immune. Anyway, I'm going to eat this first meal and then get on with some work. I'll see you for meal number two. Meal two is going to be oats. I know I said it's going to be cream of rice. It's not going to be cream of rice because I don't have enough cream of rice. And then it was going to be chicken and rice and I didn't have enough rice cooked. So it's going to be oats. And again, guys, I don't mind switching my meals around, to be honest with you. It's not the end of the world. So it's going to be oats pre-workout today. And then I'm going to be doing an upper body session with my client, Andrew, where they're going to go and get some ramen post-workout. So that'll be my post-workout meal. That will probably replace my cream of rice meal. And then I'll have chicken and rice. Ooh. No, actually, it'll probably replace my chicken and rice meal. Anyway, I'm going to get this down and then head to the gym. And I'll see you for the ramen, which I'm excited to try because I haven't had any good ramen in Manchester yet. So I love ramen. Right, I'm back from the gym. I'm back from the ramen with my client Andrew. But a letter has just arrived and I think it's my pro card. I think it's my WNBF pro card. Look at that. Wow. That's pretty cool right there. WNBF pro card. Pro bodybuilding. Elliot Gibson. That is epic. That's going straight in the wallet. Yeah, so how would you like to pay for that meal? Amazing. So yeah, had a really good session with Andrew and he's making incredible progress. I put some shots up actually. I didn't film any of the session because today's a full day of eating. We then went out to get some ramen. So we went to Maki and Ramen. I've been looking for good ramen in Manchester for ages. It was delicious. It was really, really good. I had some tonkotsu, like black garlic tonkotsu, which was it was so good. I'm gonna estimate it to be about 900 calories, probably. Pretty fatty because of the pork in there and also the oils and whatnot. But it was good. It was really, really good. I am just gonna get back to some check-ins, and then I've got my fourth meal of the day. That meal is going to replace. I'm probably actually going to make a slight tweak to the meal, to be honest, because of the nature of that meal. So it's going to replace my normal chicken and rice meal, but I'm going to have chicken and rice instead of mince and rice because mince is a little bit fattier. So I'll have chicken instead, and I'll also leave out the fruit as well. I'll typically have that chicken and rice meal that I do have with mango. I won't have the mango. I'll just leave it with veg. And then I'll have my cream of rice meal to finish the day. Anyway, I've got to get back to some clients and finish some work, edit a video as well for a reel this evening. All right, there we have meal number 4, which is 125 grams of ground rice. We've got 45 grams of whey, trained by JP, triple chocolate, 20 grams of dark chocolate, 85%, 100 grams of blueberries. We then have 10 grams of Linwood's. It's like a seed and berry mix. So it's got pumpkin seeds, got flax seeds, chia seeds, and goji berries in there as well for the micros, and also the blueberries in there as well. And then a nice serving of cinnamon as well. So this is going to be meal number 4 before we go pick up B. She's just finishing work soon. And then I've got a couple more things to finish off, a post for Instagram, and then we chill out. But yeah, one of the things that I wanted to discuss, because it seems to be a trending topic at the minute, and it's bulking being pointless. I feel like there's a misunderstanding between maybe the two parties, because no, you don't need to be in a calorie surplus to build muscle. Obviously, the stimulus for you to build muscle is the training that you do in the gym and progressively getting stronger over time. We know this, and you can do that in any state. What the surplus is there to do is to facilitate better training, maximal training. And alongside that as well, context matters. And I said this in a short that I actually produced on my Instagram, but let's imagine that you've just finished a bodybuilding prep and you're pretty lean. In fact, not even stage lean. Let's say that you didn't even get lean enough and you've spent a vast majority of time in a hypocaloric state. Anybody that's done a bodybuilding prep before, what's the one thing that feels really good once you finish your prep and your food goes up into a surplus? It's your training. The thing that is going to build you muscle. So yeah, you can stay hypocaloric or even maintain at a body weight, maybe let's say 5 pounds above your stage weight. Do you really think that you're holding 5 pounds above your stage weight is going to garner better training than being 20 pounds above your stage weight? No. And then also on top of that, being 20 pounds above your stage weight, you shouldn't be fat. That shouldn't look like you don't go to the gym. You should look like you go to the gym. In fact, you should look incredible because you're stronger, you're performing really well. Not only that as well, but one of the reasons that people's looks fade in their competitive season as their season gets deeper isn't because they've necessarily just spent too long hypocaloric. It's because their training sessions are really bad. And that's one of the powerful things about a refeed as well. It's when you give somebody a refeed, what happens? Their performance gets better. So if you give somebody a diet break or you temporarily put their food up higher, the training gets better and the look gets better as well. So no, a bulk isn't necessary for you to build muscle. But I think if you want to maximize your ability to build muscle, it's a must. I also think that the stage of your journey needs to be considered. If you have just started training and you weigh 120 pounds at 6 foot, good luck maintaining your way into the heavyweights. You're not going to be a competitive lightweight or middleweight at 6 foot. I promise you, you need to get bigger. So that's going to involve you putting on some weight. You're going to have to put some food away. That's completely different to just becoming a fat fuck and not tracking your food and just not paying attention to the scale. That's completely different. This whole dirty bulk nonsense isn't conducive to body. That's not bodybuilding, that you've just got fat. These are the things that need to be considered. So just making statements like, hey, bulking's pointless. Well done, like you got your views, but it doesn't make any sense. Context matters. Anyway, this is gonna get cold and I need to pick up B in 10 minutes. So I'll see you for meal number 5. So we're on to the final meal of the day, which is slightly adjusted to what it typically is. Let me just turn on this mic. Because of the now, as I basically said earlier, I wanted to just reduce down the amount of fats I'm having today because I know that there was a lot of fats in that ramen, to be honest. The oil, the pork, just the broth alone probably had like 25 grams of fat. So instead of mince with this meal, we're basically going with chicken. So got 400 grams of cooked weight rice. So that's up on 340. So that was prior to obviously the food increase that I recently had. And then we got 130 grams of chicken with 100 grams of vegetables, just kind of a country mix of vegetables that I get from Aldi. So, and again, that's just an easy way for you to get a variety of veg in. With my other meal, I do have mango, but I'm gonna avoid having the mango, just have the veg this meal, and that'll be me. So with each meal, I'll put up the totals from Chronometer. I basically just use that to show you my totals, so the macros and what I'm having and whatnot. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions, leave a comment below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you for the next one.